There we go. That went a little bit better than I expected. All right. I didn't get a chance to sort out all of them, but this is the one we're doing today. Look here. The ones I didn't get sorted, I don't know how much I'm going to be using of them today. So crap. Well, apparently the bag's just open. So apparently got a couple things landed on the floor unexpectedly. All right. Hopefully that was all that fell out. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's now take the open one and put all the stuff out of it back in. All right, I think I successfully got those all back in. I need a big sort box. I'll go there. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and use that if I have to sort stuff out. All right, just getting a little more comfortable here. And hello to you, Gwen. And Maylee, good evening. And Gwen saying hello to Maylee. So it looks like we have, let's close that one up. Looks like we have been able to roughly work out a time with Megan for when she comes on for her braid, which is probably going to be Sunday. I'll try and post it as soon as once we really lock it down for certain. But it looks like it's going to be a go for Sunday. All right. So the one where we just tossed a bunch of stuff out of, we're going to need 28 of those. And they're all loose. Okay. 2, 4, 6. I just go ahead and toss the big stuff back in. So it's been kind of a rough week for me. Apparently, last Friday when I went out to that planning meeting, I took my anti-narcolepsy med. And apparently, it's like the Adderall. It makes me very weak. So went ahead and was able to start another run with the prednisone. So hopefully, since I'm doing much better today, that it will continue on that way. And now that I know how you have to avoid that one as well, I'm hoping this will be enough to get me back up to full strength. All right. So we got 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, and 28. Looks like they included at least one spare, so that's a good sign. Considering I just threw a piece on the floor. Fortunately, that seems to be a relatively good color contrast. I'll get it later. All right. And Mary says, how y'all doing? I think I just gave a quick rundown for myself. Gwen says, my dinner's cold, but I'm eating it anyway. I'm sorry to hear that it's cold. And Gwen says, otherwise, I'm having a pretty good day. Gwen, how's your day going? And Mary says, doing okay. Hey, we're up to 9 people already. Let's see. More of them are on YouTube than from Twitter. And we got 3 people watching on Rumble. Hey, Rumble peeps, nice to see you there. All right. So for this first one here, it looks like, there are more of them. Then, I mean, there's more holes than there are where I'm supposed to do these. So it looks like we do one here, skip one, then do 2 and skip 1. Looks like we do that for all of these. Because it's 4 pins per connecting connection, but it's 6 spots that it's got per face. All right. I think I'll do them short connections. Because it'll be easier connecting 2 of these together rather than 4. All right. So before I forget, this is the wrench that came this time. Instead of having one on each end, it's doubled up on the single end. Take a little bit of force to put in, which I suppose is good. You don't want them falling apart. All right. And these are the middle 2. Hope there's enough light here. It's not. I guess once I start the lighter pieces, it'll go better. So anyway, the reason I was late is a demo for a game I've been seeing some early release stuff on YouTube has finally released. It's called Quarantine Zone, uh, Zombie Checkpoint or whatever. Um, you're a commander of a forward staging base in a zombie apocalypse, and survivors are brought in, and you check them out to see if they show signs of being infected. And you start out with nothing other than your eyes, and then they keep adding more tools. You get like a scanner that lets you see through clothes so you can see if they're hiding a bite. You also get a UV flashlight, which is supposed to show you when stuff is infected or obviously infected. You also get a stethoscope to check for issues with breathing. Let's see, they all go in. Looks like it. And then you get a temperature and pulse thing. And they even have a let's see. All right, that looks connected there. They have a pulse and temperature meter as well. And you mark down the symptoms. If they've got marginal symptoms, you put them into a quarantine. If they have non-marginal symptoms, you send them off to be liquidated. And come on, brain function. If they have no symptoms, or if it's just something that's just, it's not really a symptom of being infected, like there's some bruising or whatever, and they've been in quarantine and they're getting better, not worse, then you accept them into the base, and then every so often you have points where you can evacuate them to a safer area. All right. Let's see. Melee said doing okay. Gwen says that's awesome. Melee says I'm dealing with drama at my job, and I'm like, you're all adults. Come on. I felt that way at some jobs before. And Gwen says, or whatever, is that part of the name? I'm assuming that was Quarantine Zone Zombie Checkpoint. I don't really remember the exact name. And Gwen says, Melee, call me. Sorry you're dealing with that. And Melee says, thanks to Gwen. And Gwen says, my mom discovered that a branch from one of her trees fell and is standing straight up on her roof. She has no idea how she's going to get it down. I'm sorry to hear that. Speaking of drama at work, apparently I made the horrible mistake at one point at my current job where I asked somebody who was like 30 years younger than me, a lot less experience than me, except for that specific environment. And they were pointing something out, and it's like, okay, I understand, I missed that, but please don't talk to me like an idiot. And apparently that was enough that she's pretty much ignored me ever since then. It's like, all I want to do is just be treated like a normal human being. And it's like, okay, well, I am polite to her and make sure that I communicate everything I need to for the job type stuff. And I don't push it past that. There we go. And okay. But it's a bit frustrating. And Mary says maybe she speaks like an idiot. Oh, she likes doing like one-upsmanships with people, and it's like, yeah, that's not really how I like living my life. I also checked with Mrs. Torn and our roommate, who both don't think I really went overboard or anything like that, especially when I explain it with all the details I don't really want to get in on here, just in case they ever watch this. So you deal with it the best you can. All right. Okay, good. We're almost got the post done. Oops, if I orient them the correct way. There we go. All right, there we go. We got our base. All right, looks like all of these are the sand colored ones. All right, so we got two of these. Since it looks like I'm going to be doing most of these, this is probably the easiest way to do it. We got 5 of these. That looks right. And 14. No, the longest ones here. All right, so we've got 4, 8, 12, 13, 14. All right, so got 5 of the long ones. There's 3, 4, and 5. And we got 5 of the 1x6s, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we got 10 of these. So we got 1 extra here. Remember, these took a bit of force to stack them, so they probably need the wrench to separate. All right, there's 10 of those and 4 of these. I did 5 of those and 4 of the 2x4s. And 9 of 2x4 flat tops. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 7 of the 1x4s. One. Okay, 2 off that stack is 7 remaining. 1 of the 2x3s. 1 of the T-shape. I think this one is going to require a tool of special safety requirements. It's a high contrast one that's easy to find. Gwen says on the bright side, her rhododendron is blooming the most beautiful dark pink blossoms this year. Well, that's at least a bright side to something. And Gwen says, I walk away from people who try to do one-upsmanship crap. Yeah. I remember Topper from Dilbert Strips. Speaking of which, if you hadn't heard, Scott Adams, who writes that, is apparently suffering from advanced prostate cancer, and he's got a few weeks left. Sorry to hear that. And Mealy says, yep, don't waste your time. And Gwen says, especially when it involves my kids, I won't do that. And Gwen says, safety warning. Thank you for that, Gwen. All right, so 5 of the 1x3s. Looks like we're leaving one left over of everything except for the which one I had? Oh, I had 2 extras of the 1x4s. This one's also not wanting to play nice for separation. There we go. And one looks like a 1x3. It should be that. Let's just yep, that's a 1x3. 3 of the 2x2 with a single pin on the top. Leaves us 2 extras of those. And 11 of the L's. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 11. An extra on that. And 7 of the 1x2s. Let's see. Take 1 off of that. And 9 of the 1x2 flat tops. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9, and 1 by with the peg top. So, all right, rest of the stuff will go back into the bag. Though I'm not sure if we're actually going to use any more of these. Our base layer of sand, I guess. Well, I did finally tell Mrs. Torn for her birthday about the fact that I leave love notes in these, and she was very touched by that. All right. Let's get this started here. All right, so 1x2. And 4th one down, 1 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 in. There we go. And then a 1x3. Should be able to get it off easy that way. That goes there. Then we've got a 90. There. And a 2x4. There. Another 90. And okay. That one fits in there. Actually, I'm going to grab the traditional size Lego wrench and see if I can use that to get this one down where it's supposed to be. Very snug fit. Okay. And then a 1x4. there. Don't know if it's just really snug or if I am lacking in strength. All right, and longer one here. And another 1x2 here. There we go. It looks like this goes here. That fits right. And our 1T goes there. And another 1x2 goes here. And an L. And 1x6. And that goes there. All right. One of these really big ones goes here. And Gwen says, ah. I believe that's in response to me telling Mrs. Torn about the love notes. Yeah, right. And one goes there. And then this big one goes here. Scooch these a little bit so I can get stuff in place. This one goes just over one. And then one more on each side here. Went from almost nothing to pretty full pretty quick. All right. And then this one is just offset by one here. Okay, so I believe that should line up at the end. Yep, there we go. And shorter one. And longer one goes here. And one of these goes right there. And another longer one there. And I've got two 1x4s. This one, just offset two from that end. There we go. And the next one skips one. goes there. All right, and another L into that one there, and long one here, and 1x2 there, and shorter one here. So it looks like the slightly shorter 2x from the longest one is the one that has the hard time getting seated. And 2 more of those. And 1x6. So that goes there. And 1 and 2. It's like I almost want a rubber mallet to just knock these in place. And this L goes here. And 1x6 goes here. And oops, those are, there we go. Our 1 2x3 goes there. And 1x3 goes there. And L goes there. We've got long 1x and then 2 long 2x's. Yeah, these definitely go together easier than the slightly shorter ones. Speaking of which, and 1x2 there, and 2x4 there, and 1x2 there. All right. So one of these 2x6s. Goes here. And then another 90 goes there. And we have the last 3 of the shorters go in a row right here. All right, and 1x3 goes there, and 2x6 goes here. And then a longer goes there. And 90 goes one in here. And 2x6 goes there. And 1x6 offset by 2 goes there. And where was our single one? Right. That one goes gap of 1. And then another L. And longer and a 2x4. And the last of our long 1x's goes there. And 1x3 goes there. And skip 1, do a 1x4, 1x4, and 1 off from this end, 1x4. Not quite lined up right. That's much better. Okay. And 2 of the longers. These seem to go in better when they're this way than the other way. All right, off by 1, and a 1x6, or 2x6, and 2x4, and then our longers just start lining up here, and they keep up to no gaps. I'll probably play that zombie demo sometime, maybe tomorrow evening on the gaming channel, since I haven't done anything, upload anything there for a while. Oops, that one's popping out. Let's get that big one back in properly. All right, then we have the remaining 2 L's going there and there. Our last 1x3 going there, and 1x6 there, 1x4 here. All right. No, 1x2 there. Missed a 1x2 up here. There we go. All right. Oh, we are left with flat tops and single peg tops for this one corner here. Okay. Yeah, I think I've. All right, so our 1x3 flat top goes here. And then 2x4 and 2x4 and 2x4 and 1x2 single pin flat top 2x2. Make sure they're nice and snug in. And 1x2, 1x2, and 2x4 there. And 1x2 there. 1x2 there. And 2x4, 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 1x2, 2x2, 1x2, there we go, and 2x4, 1x2, or 2x2, and maybe if I put that one in, easier to get the other ones in. Guess I got to get these ones in and down flush so they're not slightly angled and blocking them from fitting in. That's probably my problem. There we go. Okay. See if I can't get these all flush with each other. All right. Almost there. The rest of them. All right. Yep. Let's see. Oops. It's weird. This looks relatively normal when I look at it overhead, but with the camera, I can see that it's a slightly lighter color. And Gwen says, yep, Mrs. Torn is awesome. And Gwen says, please hit the like button, folks. It gooses the algorithm in the right direction. And Gwen says, you don't have a micro rubber mallet? No, I do not. And Gwen says, Tron 3's gaming channel link. Thank you very much for that, Gwen. Okay. Next move. All right, so I got some of the ones I haven't sorted in this one. All right. So I'll just cut them open and pull out the ones I need and dump the rest in the bag. I'll just sort them later. Oops, I did not get everything out of there. There we go. And Gwen says, you're welcome. And Melee says, what are we building again? We are building the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean. All right. So we got that out of here. And one L. Right, that looks like that's everything from this. I don't seem to have any pink. And apparently, while this one does have some actual vegetation pieces, it doesn't have any of the really annoying green ones that I have a hard time with, even when they're full-size Lego. All right, and now I'll go back to the gold ones. All right, so we got 12 of these. Okay. Four, 8, 12. One of the next size down. Which I believe are 2x8s. There we go. Oops. And 2 of the 2x6s. One and 2. One of the 1x6s. See anything else out of this particular stack? All right, so we've got 2 of the 1x4 flat tops. 1 and 2. And okay, we're not doing any of the 1x3s. And I got the 1x6 off of there. 1 of the 2x4s. 7 of 2x4 flat tops. All right, let's just go ahead and toss them in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 3 of the 1x4s. 1, 2, 3. We did 2 of the flat tops, 1 of the 2x3s, one of the T, one of the 1x3s, one of the 2x2 regulars, three of the 2x2 single pin tops. There we go. And 15 of these things. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Let's pop that off there. And 1 of the round ones, but it's a flat top. And 11 90s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. That's 11 on there. And 2 of the 1x2s. 1 and 2. 8 of the 1x2 flat tops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And 2 of the 1x flat tops. There's 1. I hope that wasn't one that was lost on the floor. There we go. There's the other one. All right, so that's all of these. So let's put the rest of these back in the bags. There we go for those. And it looks like we got the darker browns. So we have 9 of the really long ones. All right, so 4, 8, and 1 extra. And 6 of the slightly shorters. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 of the, oops, sorry, let me catch up the chat. Gwen says the Black Pearl pirate ship. And Melee says, ooh, nice. Melee says, a little throwback to Johnny Depp. Yep. And Gwen says, I know, right? Share the link on the Crap Goths Facebook page. Thank you very much for that, Gwen. I appreciate it. And Gwen says, I'm not sure she'll get around to approving it if she does. And Melee says, I'm not much on Facebook. And Gwen says, I usually check it out. I usually go check it out if I get a notice, mostly to keep in contact with my oldest daughter. And Gwen says, really, phone? And Melee laughing. And Gwen says, sure, I'm thinking do a good job of writing my post. Phone goes, nope. Yep. They got a mind of their own. Minds of their own. Okay. So 3 of the next size down. One, 2, and 3. And 4 of the 2x4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a 2x4. Yeah, I might as well dump it in. 2x4 flat top. Saw it in the bag just a second ago, so I know I got one at least. There we go. 2x4 flat top. And 1x4. Okay. And 1 2x3. 5 of T's. 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 1x3. And 1 2x2. Might as well put these back in the bag. And 1 2x2 flat top. There we go. 8 of the L's. Okay. And 1 1x2 and 1 1x1. There's a 1x1 and 1x2. And that's it for the brown. Toss the big ones in. And then the rest can just be slid in. All right. So next is the gray, which is one I have not sorted yet. So grab the bag from the floor. And Okay, so 1 2x4. Okay, these are all the same color, same shade of gray. I got one of these bags has some slightly darker gray ones, but I don't think that's what I want. And there's some like really dark green ones. But these look like a lighter gray. So 1 2x4 and 1 2x3 and 1 T and 1 L and 1 1x2 and 21 of these, basically kind of like a very, very minty white thingy. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 whoops 2 4 7 8 9 10 11 12 3 4 5 10 15 20 1 2 okay, yep, I was one over. All right, so these can go in the bag, and we get 3 of the soft green or light green and the darker green stuff we did earlier. Actually, let me just go ahead and quickly do some of these. It's not quite so hard to pour them in. Not a full sort, just kind of a semi-sort. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, I was wondering if I should come up with Megan talking about the um, I don't know, the Fox Nation, Fox Mafia, whatever her chat's been referred to. I'm wondering if we should come up with a name for the chat here. I was thinking, Torrens Tutors or Torrens Tyrants or something like that. So I was thinking I'd do a couple of polls over the next little bit, see what you folks like best. Probably come up with like 3 or 4 options, and then drop the least favorite for 3 of do that 3 times, and then after that, then go ahead and do a couple more. Actually, like if I do 4, I'll drop 2, do that a couple of times, and put the top 2 against the top 2, and see what's most likely or what's most liked option. And I'll probably run for several days, so it's not like if you miss one stream, you don't have any input on it. All right. Almost got enough of these. I feel comfortable tossing them back in the bag. Bag the first time, however you want to put it. Oh, I did get the audiobook of the second to last book in the Saga of the Forgotten Warriors series on Audible. Um, I'm looking forward to listening to some of it over the weekend here. I have several projects for the channel that I want to do. Let's see how well I can do on those over the weekend. Trying to make progress on that front. All right. Yeah, another Sharp Thing morning. Thank you for that, fun. All right, so three of these. I should be able to just pull them out of the bag. One, two, and three. All right. Shift a bit here. Sitting on the edge of the seat. Not really all that comfortable. All right, there we go. Been at an hour. I've only got one layer done. All right. So the gray stuff here, we will take the L's, and it goes there, and 2x4 goes there, and two by three goes there. That one goes there. And 1x2 goes there. All right. And all right, so that one goes there. And over one, up two. And these three go one there. One there. And one there. All right. So with the brown ones, looks like that one goes there. Let's just make sure it looks right. Yep. All right. And then we have 90 there. And another 90 there. And a 2x6 here. The slightly longer or slightly shorter 2x8 there. And looks like the 1x2 goes here. And this one goes here. And 90 goes here. And where did I put? No, there's that one by. This goes kitty corner here. And the 2x3 goes there. And the green 90 goes here. And the longest goes there. The green longest goes there. And then another 90 goes there. Yep. And then the 2x4 goes there. And a 1x3 goes there. And 2x2 flat top goes there. 2x4, oops, that's not a 2x4 flat top, that's a 2x4 flat top. Goes there. Regular 2x4 goes at the end of that. And 2x10, or 2x12, or 8 plus 2, yeah, or no, 2x10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 2x10. All right, so that goes there. All right, so we got a 6, an 8, and then a 2x10 goes here. And T goes there. And a 2x4 regular goes here. Another T goes there. And a 2x8 goes here. And 2x10 there. And 2x10 there. All right, and Golden Knight L goes one more over. There we go. And a 1x4 goes there. And 2 2x10s. One there. One there. And a 2x6. Nope, not that style. This style. goes there. And the 2x8 goes there. And 90 goes there. And 2x10 2x10 2x6 goes there. And an L there. L there. All right. So let's take some of these apart because these get stuck together pretty good. All right, so we got one there. And the one smooth top goes here. Let's try that one again. Get it lined up with the pins. So I'm going on two of them. There we go. All right, and one there. Hand crimp. And 1x6 goes there. And over one on here. Let me catch up with chat. All right, looks like we haven't had anything new. All right. And 1x4 there. 2x10 there. And one there. There. All right. And Okay. Over by 1. And T there. And that goes there. Our one regular 2x2 goes there. And L goes there. And L at the end of this one. And a 2x8. Brown one goes here. And 2x10. Nope, that's 2x8. 2x10 there. And L goes there. And T goes there. And 2x10 there. And L there. And 2x6. 2x6. And 2x8. And 2x10. 2x10. And T goes there. And 2x10 goes there. 2x8 goes there. And 9 or an L there. And an L there. And I had another regular 2x2. Goes there. And I think that's our final L. And T goes here. And 2x8 goes there. And 2x4 goes here. That's the last of our brown. All right, so 2x10 there, 2x10 there, 2x10 there, 2x10 there, and 1x3 there. And next to it, a 1x4. All right, and that goes there. And there. And there, and that's all of our round ones. And regular 1x2. Oops, sorry. 2x3 goes there. 1x2 goes there. And 90 goes there. Another 90 goes here. All right, and 2x4. 1x2. 2x4. And 1x4. 2x4. 2x4. 1x2. 1x2. And 2x2 single pin top. Another 1x4 goes there. And 1x2 goes there. $90 and 2x4, 2x4, 1x2, 2x2 single pin, 1x2, 2x2 single pin, 1x2, oops, that's a regular 2x2. Looks like I am missing a 1x2. Now let's get the rest of these in here. See what I missed. All right, so flat top 2x2 or 2x4, regular 2x4, and 90. All right, so it looks like I got this one. I should have gotten a flat top though. Let's just swap this out. And just make sure that the okay, so I had a 2x2. Oh, nope. This one goes here. All right, so I didn't need to go back. I just need another 1x2 flat top, which is my guess is I'll find one when I'm done here. All right. And then we have our 1x1 flat tops on either side here. All right. Oh, there it is. I'll just set up there. Okay. All right, so one there. Okay. All right, and these are actually easier to read the location on than some of the other design blueprints I've had. All right, So over 2 and up 1. And kitty corner. And over 2, same row. And up 2. And over 1. And over 2 up 1. All right, so that's all the ones there. And one there. There. And there. Three of those in a diagonal row. And 2 in between. And 1 in between. I feel like it's not all the way. Looks like that's just a loose one. All right, then over 2 up 1. And over 2. Let's see, did I get that right? 1, 2, 3. 1. And over 2 up 1 again. And there. And there. All right, so it looks like we got that done for this layer. All right, so we've been at it about an hour and a half. Should we go for the next one? And Gwen says, I'm glad it's easier for you to read. Yeah, that's much nicer not having to pull out the camera. And what are those little pokey things? They're usually the base of like a 3-part or a 3-flower thing, but it looks like what they're using it for here is kind of to represent like underwater seaweed or something like that. You can kind of see them here. Yeah, it's a little hard to see it with the light, sorry. But yeah, it's supposed to be, I'm assuming it's just like underwater seaweed. All right. Let's see. Well, let's see, it's about 9:30 right now, and unfortunately my rear is getting sore. I'm sitting the way I have been. Normally I sit further back on this seat, but haven't been for some reason or another. All right, let's see. All right, well, let's see what we got here. All right, so we need 4 of the 2x10s. 1, 2, 3, 4. That way I can. One, 2x8, 4 2x6s, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 6 2x3s. Or no, they're 2x4s. 1 2x3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 1x3s. And 15 more of these round ones. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. All right, so we got that right there. All right, so no 1x4, so those can go in. And go in. That can go in. No 2x2, so those can go in. 10 of the 90s. 7. 6, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's my 1x3s. I need 2 of those. And 5 1x2s. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 2 1x1s. All right. Yeah, that's definitely the feel I got to pick up off the floor. I'm done today. All right. So we'll go round next. All right. 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 of the 2x8s. 1, 2, and 3. 7 of the 2x6s and 1 of the 1x6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. one for the 2x4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of the 2x3s. 1, 2, 3. And 1T. And 1/3. Very tough that in there. Doesn't move. There we go. All right, 1/3. And 90s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And 6 1x2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 1x1. All right, that's it for the brown. So they're like sea cacti. They might be like sea urchins or something like that, but I think they're plants. Is yeah, something along those lines. And Mary says, great progress. And Gwen says, 403 needs a cushion for the chair. I've got a cushion, but it's sitting on top of a box to give me enough height to make it easier for me to stand. Since the shorter the chair, the harder time I have getting out of it. So it's not as comfy as I'd like it to be. When I sit further back, the weight gets distributed a little better on my tuchus. All right. And we got dark green. All right, so we've got 2 of the 2x10s, 1 of the 2x6s, 1 2x4, 1 T, 2, no, that's a T, 2 L's, and 1 1x2, and everything for these. Then for the regular grays, let's see. There we go. We have 3 L's, and that's it. And oh, and 1 more, I guess, sea cacti. All right, so 1L. Two and 3Ls. And yep, one of the two of these colors of cacti. One and two, and round singles, transparent, 2 green, 2 blue, 5 pink or red. And they're in here. All right, so that was 2 green, 2 blue, and 5 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. All righty. Now the fun part. Let's see. Glenn says, I keep getting the random emails from LinkedIn. Add this guy to your page. Add this random person whose job description is in Japanese. Yep. All right. So let's scooch these off to the side so I can see what it is I'm doing. All right. Okay. All right. That is a 2x8, which is one of these. And okay, that one goes there. And 1x3. And I should just separate these out while I can. Yeah, I spent most of election day duties because I couldn't move around as much. On Tuesday, going ahead and sorting these out. Had a couple people express interest in what I was doing, so I told them about the channel. So I might get some new people, might not. All right. So that one goes there. And one to the right of it. one. There. Oops, that one got knocked over. Might need to wind up super gluing some of those. I don't know. There. And oops. And transparent red there. Transparent red there. All right, and 2x8 or 2x10, and then a 2x8. Two by two, 2x4, 2x6, and 2x10, 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 1x2, 2x10, 2x10, and 2x4, 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 L, 2x3, and single, 2x6, 2x3, L, T, 1x2, Okay, I've done something out of order here. Put that T on before. A 2x4 goes there. Now this works right. T goes there. 1x2 goes there. And green, 1x2 goes there. Brown, 1x2 goes there. And brown L goes there. And 1x2 goes there. $90 there. One by 6. Or 2x6, and then a 2x4, 1x2, and 2x10, L on the end, two by 4, two by 10, 2x4, 1x3, and 1x2, L, 2x4, transparent green, and 2x10, and L at the end, 1x2, 2x6 brown, 2x10, and 2x8, 2x8, $90, 2x6. All right, and roundy round, roundy round, roundy round. Roundy round. Transparent red. Ah. Landed in sight. There we go, transparent red, and transparent red, and 2x6. L. 2x6. Two by six. 2x6. And 1x2. Round pebble. 1x1. Round pebble. Transparent red. Come on. Get on top of your pin. There we go. And it's in place. Transparent blue. There we go. Another transparent blue. Let's see, we've got a where did I put this? Oh, there we go. L goes there. 1x2 goes there. Transparent blue goes on this corner. So next braiding stream is going to be Sunday. And 1x6 here. 1x2 here. 1x1 here. 2x10 there. 2x6 there. 2x6 there. 90 there. T there, 2 by 10 there, and L there, L there, L there, 2 by 6, L there, oops, 2 by 3 there. Oops, I got the location wrong on that. There we go. That's better. And one by 3, or L there, 2 by 4 there, last brown L there, gold L there. Okay. All right, so I still have some left. Let's see, where do they go? They go here. All right. So L goes there, 1 by 4. L there. By 3 there. Transparent green there. And green L goes there. All right, and all right, so I got an L and a 2 by 3 that I'm not seeing where it goes. Ah, 2 by 3 there, and L there. All right, so the gray over here. Right, so there. Okay. So L goes here. L goes here. And L goes there. And minty one goes here. And at least I'm not have to stick little flowers on the end of these. That makes it a lot easier. All right, so over 2 and up 1. And over 2 and up 1. There we go. All righty. So let me catch up with chat real quick here. And Gwen says, thank you everyone for hitting the like button. is to influence the algorithms. It's fun. And Gwen says, I think my phone changed what I wrote after I hit the send button. It would not surprise me. And Gwen says, sometimes Torrent 3 uses tools that the manufacturers don't recommend. Torrent 3 is very safety conscious and knows how to use the sharp tools without doing harm to himself. Speaking of which, I managed to get a light scrape on my arm from a 1/4-inch end mill that was not moving. It was in a tool holder. And it was a very light scratch, so it's pretty much healed at this point. I just need to remember to take them off. So yeah, I do try and be careful, but even I get injured at times. And it was like barely paper cut depth. I didn't even notice it until I saw it was bleeding. All right, so that's it. We got 4 moves done, including the base. And looks like as we go on, we've got some, we should have some decent moves here. And there's probably, I can hide the note here for this one. And these ones might be a little interesting to do because they're kind of like isomorphic instead of just over the top. As we build up, we start building out again. And there's some interesting ones. These are the sea plants or whatever. That looks like that's a chest that gets put on there. A couple more chests. Our sea vegetation. And then we build this, and looks like we build up from the underside, then build up like this, then we flip it over. Or nope. How do we? Building up black pearl in the hole. Okay, here's where it gets placed on the towers. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, you build it up a fair amount before you, and then there's the sails. Okay, so we got a total of 63 moves. And Gwen goes, ouchie. And great progress. Okay, so let's go ahead and get you guys a nice up-close view. So I'll probably do a braiding stream tomorrow. Or not braiding, I'll do a Lego stream tomorrow. Not sure about Saturday. I am going to try and get a lot of work done on the channel if I can. All right. And Melee Cormier is looking good. Let's see who's available. All right. So content, live, edit, customization, add a redirect. Let's see, who do I see online? Looks like Tug's still gone. So I'll go ahead and send you over there. All right. Save that. And Melee says, thank you for the stream. You're most welcome. And we'll hopefully see you folks again tomorrow. As always, everybody, stay safe and happy braiding.